Hey everyone, welcome back to the video on my Storytime channel. So I'm going to read another chapter of Soccer Duel by Matt Christopher. Let's continue on page 97, chapter 14. Chapter 14, starting on page 97. At first, when Rennie had accused him, Bryce felt guilty. When Rennie had scored his first goal, Bryce figured it was only right, considering even the pointing didn't bother him much. But when Rennie had shown him up like that, stealing the ball from him and going all the way with it, Bryce had had enough. The score was 3-0 already, but there was still another half to play. We just have to be patient. Bryce told his teammates, and wait for opponent opportunities. Follow me into their zone. I'll try to create something. When the second half began, Bryce went out to the center circle, expecting to see Rennie facing him down. But Rennie was not there. It was John Singleman. So where was Rennie? But Rennie was not there. It was John Singleman instead. So where was Rennie? Bryce looked around for him. There he was, with the midfielders. What was going on, he wondered. Bryce soon found out. Apparently, Rennie had convinced his coach that with the 3-goal lead, he should be put in as a midfielder to shadow Bryce wherever he went. For the first 10 minutes of the half, every time the ball came to Bryce, Rennie was there harassing him. For the first 10 minutes of the half, every time the ball came to Bryce, Rennie was there harassing him, denying him possession, or a clear lane. The only thing Bryce could do was pass the ball away under the ferocious pressure. Bryce could see that if this kept up, the game would end with the score just as it was. I've got to break out of this, he told himself. He knew that if he succeeded in getting deep into the Hornets' zone, Rennie would have to abandon the position to follow him. That would leave one of the Yellow Jackets' midfielders unguarded. Bryce took the ball and forced it up forward, trying to run around Rennie. But Rennie with his speed kept cutting Bryce off. Finally, Bryce had had enough. He gave Rennie a sharp shove with his forearm, creating... Finally, Bryce had had enough. He gave Rennie a sharp shove with his forearm, creating some elbow room between them. The way to the Hornets' zone was open, but before Bryce could take advantage of the opportunity, the ref's whistle blew, and he pointed to Bryce, indicating a foul. What? Bryce leaped into the air in sheer frustration. He was all over me, ref. The ref just shook his head. Flagrant personal foul, he said. Free kick, blue. No! Bryce yelled, banging his knees in frustration. Eric Dornquist tapped him on the shoulder. You're out, Bryce, he said. I'm in for you. Bryce looked up, then over at the sideline. Coach Hickey was motioning him off the field. Bryce couldn't believe it. He walked slowly toward the sideline. Come on, the coach urged him. Hustle, Bryce. What's the matter with you? You set me up for that foul, Coach, Bryce complained, and you fell for it, Coach Hickey replied, shaking his head. If you'd stop hogging the ball for once and get your teammates into the flow, this stuff wouldn't happen. They both turned their attention to the field where Rennie's free kick had turned into another goal, this time scored by Henry Wilkes. 4-0. 4-zip, the coach said sadly. I can't believe this. Neither could Bryce. The first game was shaping up to be a first-class nightmare, all because Rennie had found out the truth about him and Turk Walters. Did you see that shot he took in the first half? Bryce knew that voice. He turned to see Coach Harrelson talking with another man. Both of them had notepads and pens. They were looking out into the field. On the field, Rennie Harding was dancing around with the ball again. I thought you said was dancing around with the ball again. I thought you said he had a weak shot. He had a weak shot, the other man said. Guess I was wrong, Coach Harrelson said. Of course, or else he's just getting better with age. The two men laughed, and Bryce felt tears filling his eyes. He sat down on the bench and turned away from them. A minute later, defenseman Steve Weintraub came out of the game and sat down with him. This really stinks, he said to Bryce. Tell me about it. Say, who's the guy with Coach Harrelson? Bryce asked. Don't you know him? Steve asked. That's Coach Johnson. He runs the high school varsity team. Oh, great, Bryce said. Just great. Just when he thought things couldn't get any worse. It was a mercy when the final whistle blew. No other goals had been scored, but the first game of the championship had been a massacre all the way. The kid had drawn first blood. Bryce sat there steaming, thinking not about the past, but about the future. I'm not through yet, he swore to himself. It's not over till it's over, Rennie Harding. Okay, so that's chapter 14 of Soccer Duel by Matt Christopher. Pages 97 to 101. Take care, everybody. Another video from my Storytime channel.